A very good, happy Friday morning to everyone out there. Landon here with you in the driver's seat to bring you your latest weather and night forecast courtesy of Ohio Valley Insurance. Folks, we have still got this cloud cover that is continuing to churn in here out of the north and west. We got a blanket of clouds that's trying to work in. We're currently underneath clear skies here across Wobbles, but we have these clouds that are moving down in this southeastward direction. That's going to try to bring an uptick in that cloud cover as we work throughout this morning. Now, the good news is further back off here to the north and west where we got this area of high pressure flowing in, keeping those winds out of the north. As we work into this afternoon, folks, we're going to see that cloud cover break back up and hopefully we get some sunshine that's finally able to take back over here across the region. Jumping across the region, we'll start off with our Skycam, the Lovers Lane Soccer Complex. Our camera has finally been reset by Bowling Green Parks and Rec. Big shout out to you all for helping get that back up and going. But as we previously mentioned, we're underneath the crystal clear skies early on. So you can be set overlooking the Beach Street News Skycam, looking off to the north and west from Morgantown. Looks like I might need to go up there and wipe off the lens. Got a little bit of grime there on the lens, but otherwise, you can see we are underneath currently the moon and stars as we speak. Taking a look at the latest temperatures, we are located on the chilly side. We've got a wide range here across the Wobbles community. We've got readings at 29 degrees here on the north side of Warren County, stretching up all the way to near the mid-30s down here in Simpson County. That's near Brent Thacker country down there in and around Franklin. Taking a look over here at the latest surface map, you can kind of get an idea of what we're monitoring. The cold front is now well to our south, folks, stretched out all along the Gulf Coast. High pressure building in out of the north is going to try to bring that sunshine back this afternoon. We're going to have a beautiful, immaculate start to the weekend, but then we're going to be looking at a very active pattern taking over beginning Sunday and continuing throughout a good chunk of next week, all right? So let's jump over here and let's break down what we are anticipating on the weather front here, both in the near and long term. So we work throughout today. This area of low pressure is going to continue to pull off to the east. That's going to take the cloud cover and this meandering moisture off to the east as well, finally bringing us a bit of reprieve from the gloomy conditions we've been dealing with over the past couple of days. Now, it's very important to note, folks, overnight and then we work into sunrise on Saturday, we got a ridge that's building in here out of the south. Winds are going to be light and calm. We're going to be looking at crystal clear skies overnight. After midnight especially, it should really clear out here. Radiational cooling is going to take our temperatures all the way down, I believe anywhere from the mid-20s up to right around the lower 30s. We have got a freeze warning and a frost advisory that is out across the Wobbles community. So folks, if you have any sensitive vegetation out there, you're going to want to bring those inside because overnight could definitely be a plant killer given the current conditions that we're looking at with the radiational cooling that is going to take place. And then very quickly, folks, as we work into our Sunday, this deepening area, this evolving low pressure system is going to have a warm front. You can see right there where the reflectivity is extending out eastward from this area of low pressure. This warm front is going to lift off to the north and east, and you can see as we work into Sunday afternoon and evening, we're going to have to keep our eyes peeled for a couple of robust cells that could get going. We'll look at the SPC outlook here in just a moment, but they've given us a 1 out of 5 risk on the marginal risk scale of their severe weather index. For a couple of these that could be bringing some of the stronger winds down to the surface, so we can actually have somewhat of a damaging wind threat with a couple of robust cells. Again, this will be Sunday afternoon on into Sunday evening as the warm front lifts north over the region, all right? Then we're going to flip the script, folks, as we work into next week, okay? We could catch a brief reprieve from the action on Monday after the cold front passes, and we want all this moisture to get out of here, folks, especially if you have plans traveling up into this vicinity where the path of totality is supposedly going to be for the great eclipse, okay? The solar eclipse on Monday, right along here in southern Indiana, southern Illinois, stretching over to the Boot Hill of Missouri. We want this activity to get out of here, and it looks like it might come to fruition. Conditions are looking a bit more favorable if you plan on going and taking a look there. But folks, after Monday, we are going to have a very interesting setup. We're going to have this meandering cold front, pseudo stationary front that's just going to be meandering across the lower Ohio and Tennessee valleys and really isn't going to move much. We're going to have these southerly winds that's going to be drawn up with an area of high pressure down to our south and east, low pressure to our south and west. Folks, those are going to be churning and working together to bring those southerly winds up that'll bring all that moisture, transportation, and warmer air advecting right up over the Wobbles community. Now, take a look. This is going to result in numerous weather makers riding right along this boundary, okay? Well, you might ask, well, Landon, with boundaries, why are boundaries where the storms are located? Boundaries provide lift in the atmosphere, and that's a very important component to us getting rain and storms going. So with the boundary meandering right across the area and these little waves of energy riding along that boundary, take a look at the weather forecast as we work into Monday night through basically on Friday. We get a slug of moisture up that arrives right around sunrise on Tuesday. We get another round that arrives Tuesday evening on into Wednesday. We got another round with the low pressure finally lifting off to the north and the east Thursday into Thursday night and Friday. And folks, we're going to have to watch that one. That could be bringing along some strong or maybe even severe storms along with it. And finally, as the low jolts off to the north and east as we work into our Friday morning and Friday afternoon, we get a little bit of northerly flow that's going to bring in a little bit of cooler air by roughly Saturday of next week, but we finally get all that activity out of here. So long story short, folks, as we work throughout today and tomorrow, no real sensible weather impacts outside of that hard freeze tonight. And then we're going to be looking at a very active pattern taking over throughout the vast majority of next week. Wanted to show you the precipitable water values, okay? This is if you were to take a column out of the atmosphere and wring it out, how much rainfall we would get in total. Take a look at the increasing precipitable water values as we work into our Sunday. You can see the moisture right along the warm front, right here into Sunday afternoon and evening, and then watch. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then Friday, all right, whenever the low finally jolts up there. So we're going to have very high precipitable water values for this time of year, so we could get in on some copious amounts of rainfall throughout next week. So that's worth taking note of as well, especially for all of you with our agricultural community out there. Might be something that you want to pay very close attention to. So let's jump back here and talk about what we're looking at. After tonight with the hard freeze, focus is on Sunday afternoon and evening. The warm front's going to live north over the region, and then we're going to have the opportunity at some of these storms becoming strong to even marginally severe. Damaging wind will be our primary concern. Right now, we're not seeing any other threats, but maybe some small hail that could be coming along with that, all right? And of course, our eclipse viewing. You can see the red there on the right side of the screen. That red path is where the path of totality is labeled in order to view 100% totality with the solar eclipse that'll take place. You all know yesterday, folks, we had a little bit more cloud cover right there in the sweet spot, right from the Missouri Boot Heel into far western Kentucky up into southern Illinois and Indiana. Keep your fingers crossed that this trend continues, because hopefully we can get the clouds to move on out of here with that late Sunday system to at least provide some viewing for a rather extremely rare astronomical event. Total rainfall amounts, folks, I was warning you. Here we are. We're looking at anywhere between 2 to 3 inches. Some localized areas could get in even more total rainfall here over the course of the next week. And the bulk of this is expected to fall again Sunday afternoon and evening, and then Tuesday through Thursday night. All right. So again, plentiful amounts of rainfall is in the forecast for us. Here's a full breakdown of your next 5 days. We've got partly to mostly cloudy this morning. Again, folks, it's clear right now. We're going to have the clouds advect in here around mid-morning or so, and then break back up this afternoon. Highs right around the low and mid-50s. Loads of sunshine on Saturday, but folks, by sunrise, that hard freeze and a frost will become very likely. We got freeze warnings and frost advisories out for the entirety of Wobbles. Sunday, it'll be nice and breezy early in the morning, brisk southerly winds resulting in a nice warm-up. Highs near 70 degrees with scattered shower and storm chances during the afternoon and evening, some of which could become strong to perhaps even marginally severe. Loads of sunshine and mid-70s on Monday, and then we get the Gulf Stream of moisture open for business. Multiple rounds of showers and storms Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, with highs located on either side of that 70-degree threshold. That's going to do it for your Friday morning weather or not forecast presented by Ohio Valley Insurance. You all take care of yourselves and each other.